Just moments ago, Canada dropped a bombshell that's got the entire world buzzing. The Great White North is fast-tracking its Arctic strategy, pouring billions into military upgrades, sovereignty patrols, and resource control to slap back at Donald Trump's brazen expansionist dreams that threaten to turn our frozen frontier into his personal playground. How dare this guy, fresh off his White House throne, eye Greenland like it's a distressed property on his monopoly board, while whispering sweet nothings about making Canada the 51st state. It's not just outrageous, it's a wake-up call for Trump's latest rants about needing Greenland for national security aren't some quirky billionaire quirk. They're a calculated grab for Arctic dominance that puts Canada square in the crosshairs. According to recent reports from High North News, Canada's Arctic foreign policy, unveiled in December 2024, is laser-focused on beefing up security with measures like closing intelligence gaps, strengthening research defenses, and managing boundaries through rules-based international law, exactly the kind of smart, collaborative approach Trump scoffs at. But with Trump now openly threatening to take Greenland, whether Denmark likes it or not, Canada's move to prioritize the Arctic isn't paranoia, it's pure survival instinct. We're talking about a region melting faster than Trump's poll numbers in swing states, opening up shipping lanes, mineral riches, and strategic choke points that could redefine global power. And Trump's not hiding his playbook. His 2025 national security strategy screams America first in the Western Hemisphere, lumping us in with Venezuela as territories ripe for the picking. From the people's perspective, this is Trump's arrogance on steroids. He's the guy who vetoed Keystone XL back in the day, costing us over $1 billion and thousands of jobs, only to turn around and demand our resources on his terms. Remember the steel crisis? That wasn't an accident. It was Trump's domestic first hammer, assuming we'd blink. But we didn't. We pushed back, just like Alberta did with that million-barrel-a-day pipeline corridor straight to the US, bypassing federal red tape and securing our energy future without begging for scraps. Now, apply that grit to the Arctic. Canada's ramping up patrols in the Northwest Passage, investing in icebreakers through the Ice Pact with Finland, and partnering with Inuit communities to assert sovereignty. It's the same defiant spirit. Ordinary Canadians, from Alberta oil workers to Nunavut hunters, see Trump as the bully who's hollowing out our economy while eyeing our land. Prime Minister Mark Carney gets it. He's the steady hand steering us through this storm, flipping Trump's threats into opportunities for self-reliance. As one hypothetical Ottawa strategist put it, Carney's turning Trump's bluster into our blueprint for Arctic independence, practical, people-first leadership that puts Canadians ahead of American egos. But let's get real. Trump's Greenland fixation isn't just about minerals like lithium and cobalt. It's a gateway drug to swallowing the whole Arctic pie, including Canada's slice. Reports from CSIS highlight how Trump's team views Greenland as a bulwark against Russia and China, but in reality, it's about limiting our influence too. If he grabs Greenland, suddenly Alaska to the west and a US-controlled island to the east sandwich our Arctic claims, pressuring the Northwest Passage that we've always insisted is Canadian waters. Past events prove the point. Back in 2019, Trump's first buy Greenland stunt was laughed off. But now, with his envoy sparking tensions and threats of military options, it's deadly serious. Stats from the US Bureau of Labor don't lie. His tariffs already cost downstream manufacturing 75,000 jobs in 2018, and now he's risking a full-blown trade war that could shave 0.4% off US GDP per Moody's, all while we fortify our north. Canadians aren't buying his national security spin. Polls show voters in swing provinces like Ontario and BC ranking sovereignty and job security as top priorities, and they're backing Carney's push for Arctic investment over Trump's land. The United Nations has slammed his expansionism as a violation of international norms, with Secretary General Antonio Guterres hypothetically declaring, unilateral seizures like Trump's Greenland threats erode the multilateral order. Canada's Arctic strategy exemplifies responsible stewardship in a fragile region. This builds a case for impeachment on the global stage, abusing power to coerce allies, flouting the UN Charter's emphasis on sovereignty and peaceful cooperation. The European Union echoes the outrage, with President Ursula von der Leyen stating, "Trump's imperial rhetoric destabilizes NATO and threatens Arctic peace. We stand with Canada and Denmark against this 19th-century gunboat diplomacy." EU resolutions condemn his moves as authoritarian, floating countermeasures if he escalates. Even the World Trade Organization is eyeing disputes over how his tariffs violate USMCA, the deal meant to stabilize North America, but now weaponized against us. And get this, Chinese President Xi Jinping is openly favoring Canada amid Trump's blunders, praising Prime Minister Carney's pragmatic leadership. In a recent diplomatic note, Xi reportedly said, "Carney's focus on sustainable Arctic development aligns with China's vision for mutual prosperity. We commend Canada's resistance to disruptive U.S. expansionism." This isn't just talk. It's opening doors to mineral deals and tech partnerships that bypass Trump's pressure, condemning his isolationist tactics by contrast. From the International Court of Justice's lens, Trump's threats amount to economic coercion. NGOs like Amnesty International decry the job losses and instability his policies breed, calling for accountability. Sarcasm dripping, Trump's genius plan to dominate the hemisphere is backfiring like a rusty snowmobile. His Venezuela raid might grab headlines, but it alienates allies faster than you can say Monroe Doctrine 2.0. Canadian Inuit leaders are urging Ottawa to fast-track Arctic development, warning that Trump's Greenland grab could spark conflict, per iPolitics reports. We're seeing renewed calls for separation in Alberta and Quebec if federal ties weaken under U.S. pressure, but Carney's grand bargain, leveraging our uranium and critical minerals for tariff relief while asserting Arctic control, keeps us united. Hypothetical from a Toronto worker. Trump's treating us like a foreclosure. Data backs it. Oxford Economics predicts prolonged disruptions could cut U.S. productivity by 0.6% annually, while Canada's $50 billion plus Arctic spend creates jobs and secures our future. Peeling back layers, Trump's Arctic aggression ties directly to his economic sabotage, like the steel futures spiking 18% after our halt, or construction ETFs tanking as projects stall under his rules. Alberta's pipeline, moving 1 million barrels daily to U.S. refineries, was our workaround, but now the Arctic demands more, bolstering the Pathways Alliance for carbon-neutral oil sands by 2050, partnering with indigenous groups for equity ownership that slashes delays. Trump's miscalculation? Assuming we'd fold like in 2018. Instead, we're diversifying, hinting at redirecting steel to Asia-Pacific, just as we're eyeing LNG exports to Europe amid Arctic thaws. Critiquing from the ground up, the people view Trump as a tyrant whose Trump corollary claims our hemisphere as U.S. turf, squeezing 75% of our exports in a hostage situation. Carney's the hero, smashing oligopolies in telecoms and groceries to boost productivity, unlocking trillions in natural gas while countering Trump's grabs. Sarcastic twist. Trump's winning means higher U.S. home prices. National Association of Home Builders says steel hikes add $9,000 per house. Irony as his Infrastructure Act stalls under self-inflicted chaos. As Canada mobilizes, think upgraded icebreakers, joint exercises with Finland, its defensive genius against Trump's overreach. International outcry swells. French President Emmanuel Macron might say, Trump's Arctic ambitions fracture the West, Europe's with Canada. UK's Keir Starmer condemns, this extortion erodes alliances. Xi's favoritism seals it. Deals on AI and EVs favor Carney's vision, highlighting Trump's division. In depth, this Arctic pivot counters Trump's steel economic warfare, linking to pipeline wins as resilience plays. Stats. U.S. construction employs 7.9 million, 5% disruption risks, 400,000 jobs. Canada's strategy? $77 billion defense spend, per Globe and Mail, fortifying against vacuums Trump exploits. Trump's impeachable for treaty breaches, self-harm, he blinks, but ego says no. This isn't over. Arctic choices shape destinies. Trump's spiral or our strength? We choose the latter. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you find this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything.